right, everybody. Welcome once again to our Algebra 2 class. Welcome and greetings to all of you wonderful math lovers. Welcome. Greetings from the sunny city of Indian Trail, where today it's actually a little cold and windy. I have no idea what happened to the weather. But anyway, I hope you all are having fun. This right here was the homework you were supposed to do from our last video. We are doing or working on solving quadratic equations. And anyway, this is due on Friday. Don't forget, by 8 o'clock. Yay, that's PM, not AM. There's only two of them. I don't want it at 8 in the morning. All right. So obviously, if you turn it in early, that's good for you. So make sure you get that in, and it will be recorded upon thy grade. Once again, some of you have not turned in any work yet. I know you're very busy people, and the weight of the world is upon thy shoulders. But I'm sure you can find some time to do these little fellers. So, I don't know. Maybe I should write down the first letters of the first names of some people that I've not received any work from. You know, Jam. You know who you are. And Brian, yep, that's you. Wow. And Kay, yes. And May, yep. Let's see, who else? I think that's it. I think I need to check on that one. But Abby's nice, so Gail is nice, so we'll skip her. But anyway, the rest of you, I need to get some work from you people. You can't be working 10 hours a day. Cannot be. So, yeah, make sure you get that work in, all right? Especially Brand, because you're graduating. Whee! Or, well, maybe if you turn in your work. All right, so, yep, that was for our last video. Just a friendly reminder from yours truly, moi. All right, and remember, moi means Juan in French. Okay, so let's continue on today. We're going to try to do this as quickly as possible. And today we are looking at quadratic equations part 2, the sequel. Ta-da! All right, and so today we're going to be looking at how to solve, right here, steps to solve two-term quadratic equations with two variables. Okay, so once again, we have our three simple steps. Hey, look, today it actually is three. All right, so three simple steps to solving two-term quadratic equations with two variables. All right, so great. Let's go over these quickly. Hopefully you remember how to do these. Remember, this is review, right? Review, good. And so I think this is, of all the quadratic equations that we will be doing, this is probably the easiest one. Okay, so step number one, we need to factor out an x from both terms and set it outside the parentheses. So this is our term that we're going to be working on right now. 6x squared minus 5x, okay? And so in step number one, we are doing this right here, okay? So we have our expression right there, or the equation, and we are going to subtract or factor out an x from both terms, from this one and this one. So we're going to bring the x out here and an x out here. And so that's it. That's step number one. We're factoring out an x from both terms and setting it outside of the parentheses. All right. Number two, we're going to put inside the parentheses the remaining part of the equation. So this right here. So we took an x from this one and we took an x from that one. That one became just a regular x, and this one here, well, he was left with nothing, with nothing at all. Zip, zero, nada. Okay, so now we have set up our equation, and from here on, this is very, very simple. So we have the x outside that we factor out and our equation inside. And now, step number three tells us to set both terms to equal 0 and solve for x, which is what we have done right here. Okay, so we're going to set the x to equal 0, and in two-term quadratic equations with two variables, one of the answers will always be 0. So that's easy. Then the next one, the one you have to worry about is the term inside of the parentheses. And so that one we are going to set to 0, and we're going to solve for x, meaning that we want to isolate the variable. And so we're going to subtract, or we're going to add 5x here so that these two can cancel out. Add 5 on the other side of the equation. And then I'm left with 6x is equal to 5 divided by 6, and x is equal to 5 over 6. And voila, that is my answer. Oui. All right. So this is very easy stuff. By the way, I had my Slim Fast, and I've actually gone down half a pound since yesterday. Woo-woo. So anyway, by the time you guys see me, I'm going to be like 180 and awesome. Of course, I don't think I can get more awesome than what I am now, but I'm going to try. Okay, great. So that's it. Steps to solve two-term quadratic equations with two variables. You say, Pastor, is the class over? Is this it? No, it's not. Yes, I know you love it. All right, great. Let's continue. Let's do example number 2 right here. Let's work on example number 2. Okay, so here we have again 5x squared, and let's see, 5x squared. Oh, hey, I just got Merritt's work. Good job, Merritt. Hey, Pastor, this is Merritt. Look at him sending in his biology work. Good job, Merritt. Okay, make sure you do chapter 17. This is chapter 16 you sent. Good man. All right, let's continue. Now, okay, so we have 5x squared plus 4x equals 0. Once again, step number 1 right here. We're going to set out an x, or factor out an x from both, and that'll leave us with an x out here. This one here will turn into that one, okay? We're basically subtracting an x from here, subtracting an x from there, and I don't know who that is. I'm telling you, look at this, scam caller. These people have no respect. I'm trying to do a video, and they are calling me. So much for that. All right, let's continue. So I have x out here, factor that out, and I'm left with 5x plus 4. And leave that in the parentheses. Now I'm going to set step number 3, set both terms to equal to 0. And then this one here, obviously the one in the parentheses is the one that you are going to have to work out the most. And so here we go. We're going to add a negative 4, so these two will cancel out. I'm left with 5x equals negative 4. I'm going to divide by 5, and x equals negative 4/5. Okay? Now, if I were to turn this bad boy into a decimal and take the answer and put it back into the original equation, everything on this side should equal 0, and that will make the equation true. Of course, I can also put this one in here. And you know that anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so we know that that one will work. All right, great. So that's how you check it. If I ever ask you to check it, that's what you do. Okay, great. Let's do one more. Example number 3. Voila. Look at that beauty right there. Oui. Okay, I'm French today, by the way. My name is Christophe, I don't know. What would my name be in French? Le Beautiful. No, let's continue. All right, so 4x squared plus 5x equals 0. All right, so we're going to factor out an x from here and here. I am going to bring down what's left over right there. I have taken out an x from both terms and placed them out here. 4x plus 5 is what I'm left with. I'm going to set both terms to equal 0, this one to equal 0, and I'm going to focus primarily on this one because I already got the answer for that first one. All right, add -5 to both sides, and then I'm left with 4x equals -5 divided by 4, and my answer is right there. X equals -5 over 4. Okay, great. Okay, so that's it. This is easy. Solving two-term quadratic equations with two variables. Okay. Now, quickly, let's look at something else before we get done right here. Now, my question is, what is the difference between these two quadratic expressions right here? What is the difference? All right, well, there are several differences. Yes. You can tell quickly just by looking at it. There are two main differences. One, the first one here, we do not have a coefficient. Okay, it's an understood one there, but there is not a 3, 4, whatever, coefficient there. Okay, this one does have a coefficient. Good. What is the other difference? Anybody? Bueller. Anybody? Good job. Yay. Yes, good answer. All right. You know who answered. This one here does not have a variable. Okay, that one does. And so this one is a two-term, two-variable quadratic expression, and this one is not. Okay. Now, so how do we solve this one? Well, this one here is just a regular old quadratic equation, and we would solve that one by factoring out. Okay, and so when you do the factoring out in this one, you will find out that the factors are these two right here. Because if you were to multiply these two together, and we're going to do that right now, you will get that equation right there. So 7 times 7 is -49, positive and a negative. Then you have 7 times x is -7x. 7 times x is positive 7x. And then x times x, we have x squared, okay? And so x squared, these two will cancel out because we're adding them. So this one and this one will actually equal to nada, equal to 0. So we're going to leave that space empty there. And then we're just going to bring down the 49, okay? And so that's how we get x squared minus 49. Great. So whenever you see that you have a quadratic expression that only has two terms, and the last term is a square root of a number, in this case 49 is the square root of 7, and there is no middle term, then you know that the factors should look like this up here. Okay, it should look like that up there. For example, if we had another example, I'm full of examples today, people. If we had x squared minus 25, then what would the two factors be? Quick, 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 quick. What would it be? X plus 5, x minus 5. Good job. Okay, so there are some of these quadratic expressions that you could just look at them, right? And you know what the answer is. Now, obviously, for this one here, you would still not be done yet because you would have to set them to equal to 0, right? Right, good. And so once you set them to equal to 0, this one is going to be x is equal to negative 7 because you're going to add negative 7 here. And this one is going to be x is equal to positive 7 because you're going to add a 7 here and a 7 here, okay? So anyway, you will still get the same answers, just in different order. Okay, good. So that is the difference between this one and this one. Now, this one here, because we have two variables, 1 and 2, then we would go through the process that we just reviewed. Okay, we're going to factor out an x, bring down the rest of the quadratic expression or equation and put it into the parentheses. And then I'm going to set both terms to equal to 0. And then I'm going to solve for x in this one. All right, 3x equals 6. Divide by 3. X is equal to what, people? Yes, it's equal to 2 because we can simplify that fraction right there. And so my answers are these two here. Great. All right, so that's easy. So just make sure to remember the difference, okay? The difference whenever you see a two-term quadratic expressions like these two here, you always need to look to see if there is a variable in the last term. Okay, if there is no variable in the last term, then this is a regular all quadratic equation. And if there is, if you have two variables, a two term and two variables, then you know that you have to follow these steps that we just went through today. All right, great. Well, you guys are doing awesome. I can see that you're all paying attention and not picking your boogers and eating them and doing some crazy stuff while I am teaching. I am thankful for your attention. Now, ta-da! And then the crowd goes wild. Yes, it's everyone's favorite time of the day. Homework. Yay! Brr. You know you love homework. All right. Here we go. Eight beautiful word or problems to solve. Each one of them have an answer. Do not be giving me empty papers. Pastor, I couldn't figure this out. No. They all have their answers, and you can do these all on a sheet of papier. That would be paper in German. And text it or send it to me. All right? Sounds great. Well, thank you once again for being with us and for participating in our Algebra 2 class. We'll see you next time.